Institute Chair, past District Governor Chu Gimbok, I would like to welcome you to our pre-institute of the Rotary Regional Foundation Seminar, the Polio Breakout Session of the 2021 Singapore Rotary Institute. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to whatever part of the world you are. So my welcome to the present regional coordinators, the present district governors, the past district governors, the future district governors, all the district leaders, the present presidents, future presidents, and past presidents, and my respect to Trustee Chair and past Rotary International President, John Germ. So tonight we're all gathered for one reason, one Rotary, one focus, and that is to end polio. Let me go back and refresh you on Polio Plus. For more than 30 years, Rotary and our partners have driven the effort to eradicate polio worldwide. Our Polio Plus program was the first initiative to tackle global polio eradication by vaccinating children in a massive scale. As a core partner in the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, Rotary focused on advocacy, fundraising, volunteer recruitment, and awareness building. Rotary members have contributed more than $2.1 billion and countless volunteer hours to protect more than 2.5 billion children in 122 countries from this paralyzing disease. Rotary's advocacy efforts have played a role in decisions by governments to contribute more than $10 billion to the effort. To begin with our program, I'd like to call our Institute convener, Rotary International Director, Surgeon Liu Chi Chen. Director, Surgeon, 你好。
你好，大家好。Dear Moderator, PDG Marianne, Trustee Chair, PIP John, International Polio Plus Committee Chair, PRIVP Michael, Institute Chair, PDG Gimbok, Rotary dignitaries, my fellow Rotarians, good day. During board and trustee joint meeting in October 2021, we had a polio presentation. The presentation topic is delivering on the promise on a polio-free world. We know polio October 24. It is critical that the Rotary leaders urge Rotarians to not become complacent. We have seen just 2 cases of world polio this year, but unfortunately, we had 2 new cases reported yesterday in Afghanistan. This is after an interval of 10 months. This news is disappointing. That means we still face tremendous challenges. Vaccine-derived polio continue to paralyze children in many countries. We will need to immunize 400 million children each year. It is an important opportunity to raise funds and awareness for polio. We need all Rotary clubs engaged in order to continue to meet our $50 million fundraising goal and support polio eradication by mobilizing your Rotary networks. We have 2 goals to achieve no transmission by the end of 2023. Goal 1, permanently interrupt transmission of all polio virus in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Goal 2, stop transmission of circulating vaccine-derived polio virus type 2 and prevent outbreak in polio-free regions. This is a polio eradicating strategy. What is needed to eradicate polio? First is financial support, which include and the polio coordinator as part of our leadership team. We need advocacy, Rotarian involvement, patience, persistence, passion, and peace. The yearly theme this year is Serve to Change Life. There's so much more that Rotarian can do in serving to change life. Let us eradicate polio and find opportunity to do more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Surgeon, for your opening message. We would like now to introduce our next speaker. He's a Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA, and he was the president of Rotary International in 2016-2017, my all-star team president. He's the chair of the End Polio Now Countdown to History Campaign Committee. Fellow Rotarians, please help me welcome with a resounding virtual applause the Rotary Foundation Trustee Chair, John Germ. John?
Thank you, Mian. It's great to be back with you and all of the fellow Rotarians there. I think we have about 130 people on this participation today, so that is fantastic. Surgeon has given you a brief outline of the polio and Rotary effort, but let me go into a little bit more details if you don't mind. You know, it was a visionary named Sir Clem Renoff that saw where smallpox had been eradicated and decided there was something that could be done like that around the world. It was in the Philippines that this effort was started back in 1979 when the Rotary Foundation had agreed to fund $760,000 US in order to purchase vaccine and to vaccinate 6 million children. After that program was successful, excuse me, was very successful, the World Health Organization, the World Health Alliance decided that they wouldn't even talk to Rotary. Rotary went to them to say, can we do this around the world? Rotary wasn't deterred. Rotary said when they told us no, they couldn't work with us because of us being a non-governmental organization, didn't have any money, changing leadership all the time. But Rotarians are not deterred. So Rotarians went out and decided that they would raise the money in order to begin this campaign and thought that it could be done in a very short period of time. Well, obviously, since 1979, the next big step was 1988 when the World Health Assembly said yes. But see, it was Rotary that was the founding member of what is called the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. It's Rotary that has individuals on all the major committees within the global polio eradication effort. It's you that has helped us get from 1,000 cases a day to where we just now have 4 cases around the entire world. We had a setback just recently. As Surgeon said, Director Surgeon said, yes, we had 2 new cases in October. One was a 25-month-old boy, and the other one was a 10-month-old girl. But if you go back and look at history, when India was trying to be declared polio-free, they were almost down to 0, and then they had an insurgence of cases. If you go to Nigeria just recently, Nigeria went 2.5 years without a case, and then they had cases. So we can't give up. We've got to continue to remember that we have to vaccinate 450 million children per year, until polio is eradicated. But what about the successes? 19.4 million individuals walking today because Rotary stayed the course. Rotary continued that journey. Or how about the 3 million people, 3 billion people that Rotary has provided health care to that are access to vaccinated with for polio? The vitamin A that helped keep her from being blind. All because you and other Rotarians like you around the world said, yes, we can accomplish this. Yes, we will stay with this until the end. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation joined us in 2007. You know that we're the only organization that they give a 2-for-1 match to? The only organization. They've never done that before. Our contract with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation goes through 2023. So I've often been asked, well, what happens after 2023? Well, we got a meeting in January to discuss extension of that contract through 2026. Why 2023 and 26? Because the new strategic plan, as was mentioned, says that by the end of 2023, that we will have eradicated polio from Afghanistan and Pakistan. Both the wild polio virus and the vaccine-derived virus. We will have eradicated the vaccine-derived virus from the non-endemic countries by 2023. And then by 2026, we shall be able to declare the world polio-free. That's not an easy task. In Afghanistan, as you know, we were not able to reach many of the children. And the 2 children that now have polio were in those areas that we were not able to reach previously. But in November the 7th, the Afghanistan Taliban said we can go back to door to door. They said we can have female healthcare workers go door to door. That was great accomplishments in order for that to occur. And it did occur. But you know, there's 10 million children under the age of 5 in Afghanistan. We've got to reach every one of them, just like we have to reach every child under the age of 5 around the world until we get polio declared free. In Pakistan, there's 40 million children that we have to reach. So our job is certainly not over. Both Bill and Melinda are dedicated to the eradication of polio. So we fully believe that they will stay with us, that we will continue to renew the contract for another 3 years. You realize that if we do $50 million, I'm sure you do, that they will give us 100. We barely made it last year, but with your help, we did make it. We made $50.02 million. In October at our trustee meeting, we gave out $49 million of grants to WHO and to UNICEF. In January, we'll receive $100 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In January, we'll issue another $50 million worth of grants. And in June, we'll do another $50 million worth of grants. But you see, WHO and UNICEF have to apply to us for grants, just like you do for a district grant or a global grant. It goes through the staff. It then goes through the country liaison for polio. Then it comes to the subcommittee of the International Polio Plus Committee. Then it goes to the trustees. So you see, there's great diligence that is done in order to help protect the money that you contribute and the money that the Gates Foundation contributes. I'm asking you to continue the effort. Remember our grandchildren and their children, our children, their children. Have we been able to reach everybody? No, we missed a few. But we're committed to the end. You and I can make a difference in a child's life if we just continue to work to eradicate polio. The foundation is committed. I'm committed, and I know you are too. So thank you for letting me be with you this evening, your time. Thanks, Meehan.
Thank you very much, John. We feel you and we are inspired once again to fulfill our commitment to make the world polio free for the children. So thank you again, our trusty chair, John Germ. Our next speaker, though he can't be with us right now, as he just landed in Geneva to be part of the polio meeting, the polio oversight board, but I just like to give proper introduction as he prepared a pre-recorded message for all of us. He is from the Rotary Club of South Portland, Cape Elizabeth of Maine, USA, and he has held the position of chair of Rotary International Polio Plus Committee since October 2014. He also represents Rotary on the Polio Oversight Board, which governs the Global Polio Eradication Initiative Partnership and chairs its Finance and Accountability Committee. He's the global chair of the Rotary Leadership Institute. Fellow Rotarians, a virtual round of applause for past Rotary International Vice President Mike McGovern. Please play video.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be with you this evening at the Regional Rotary Foundation Seminar, Polio Breakout. I'm actually not with you live. I taped this last week. The reason I'm not taping it, that I am taping it, is that I'm currently arriving in Geneva, Switzerland, at a meeting of the Polio Eradication Strategy Committee. It's actually my first trip on a plane in about 2 years, so I hope that all went well prior to your actual meeting this evening. We've come a long way with polio eradication. You've heard from other speakers, we've only had the 2 cases this year. The really good news beyond that is that, we're not seeing it in the environmental samples either, which tell us whether or not there is actually polio that we might not be detecting. We also have reviewed our whole surveillance system in Pakistan, and we're looking at it in Afghanistan to make sure that if there was polio, it would be picking it up. And just to give you an example of the conclusions that were reached in a recent study by the polio partnerships, they looked at surveillance, and they do think that there's a high likelihood that the current low level of polio virus detection is accurate. They think the numbers are right. That's great news. But at the same time, since it was seen in the environment in the month of August, they think that the world polio virus type 1 continues to circulate a bit in Pakistan. That gives us worry, but at the same time, it recommits us to doing all that needs to be done to eradicate polio. That includes keeping up the surveillance, and that includes, should there be a case of circulating vaccine-derived polio or some other type, that we respond to it quickly and accurately. In Afghanistan, we're working with the new government. The partnership is, Rotary is, thus far, they've said all the right things. They're looking at mostly what they call mosque-to-mosque vaccinations, but they're also looking at increasingly doing house-to-house vaccinations. Obviously, when the system really hasn't worked right for a few years in many of the areas of the country in terms of having vaccination, the startup isn't going to be easy. There's going to be challenges, but fortunately, everyone at this point seems to be working together, and we hope for the best. The last case in Afghanistan was on the 1st of January of 2021. So we're optimistic, but we're also realistic. We look at what we found in Pakistan in terms of that we think we've mostly got it, but we need to be careful. We're treating Afghanistan much the same way. We are very concerned with these circulating vaccine-derived cases we see in Nigeria. As I taped this on actually on the 9th of November, 80% of the circulating vaccine-derived cases in the world are in the country of Nigeria. We've just completed a meeting, John Germ, myself, and others, reviewing, what can we be doing in Nigeria as Rotary, and particularly with the Nigerian Rotarian involvement to help out with the situation there. Tunji Funcho, who's the Rotary volunteer who chairs the program there, is all for recommitting to make sure that we rid that country and eventually the world of these vaccine-derived cases. It's hard to believe, time goes fast, but the last wild poliovirus case in Nigeria was now more than 5 years ago. The last case in India was now more than 11 years ago, the actual wild poliovirus case. So, we've made a lot of progress, but this has come, Rotarians around the world have pulled together to make sure we've gotten the cases down from 350,000 to the 2 that we've seen so far in 2021. I also want to mention that, we're looking increasingly to get this done, that we need to integrate more with other programs. We're always accused of being a bit of a silo, the polio program, that, we didn't work to eradicate measles and others. And, we're not changing the mission. I want to be clear about that. But at the same time, if we have polio workers, it makes no sense to send them out in the field to provide polio vaccines and not also providing vaccines for other childhood diseases that are prevented by vaccines. So we're increasingly doing that. We're also, trying to do things to make the community more welcoming. We see vaccine hesitancy many places around the world. So for example, Korean Rotarians have just agreed to fund, working with a global grant of the Rotary Foundation, over 24 water wells in the super high risk areas for polio in Pakistan. That's crucially important because, so often, we've been there quite a few times with the polio drops, and the citizens saying, but my kid's still getting sick. It's not good, the water's not good, what can you do? And, the Rotarians in Pakistan, mostly working with the Coca-Cola Foundation, have already done, over 40 of these solar water filtration plants, helping to make sure that water is clean. So this is what it's taking to get this done. We have a new strategic plan. It says that we're going to stop all transmission of polio in Afghanistan and in Pakistan of the 2 types, and we're going to tackle these other circulating vaccine-derived cases around the world. They hope to have the last case by the end of 2023. That's the goal. But we might have had the last wild poliovirus cases. We don't know. But we can't be complacent. We can't be overly optimistic. We still need to vaccinate 400 million children a year against polio. And as John Germ has said to you earlier, we still need Rotarian support. We're the center of all of this. Rotary, we were the ones that started the program all those many years ago in the Philippines, and we're going to be there at the finish, but we need you to do it. We've seen tremendous support from your part of the world. The Philippines is just going crazy in a good way with the Polio Plus Society, and we're seeing it in Indonesia and other countries as well. So I want to conclude by thanking you for being understanding that I'm not even live on this Zoom, but most of all for having, as I've said a number of times before, it's patience, it's persistence, and it's passion. That's what we see amongst Rotarians around the world. It's what our partners see, and it's what the world sees. Rotary made a promise to the children of the world, and we're going to keep it. So thank you very much. I really hope you all continue to support polio eradication, and let's get this done for the children of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike. Patience, persistence, and what was the third one again? Patience, persistence. Well, I'd like to add the fourth one, prayer. We need to pray a lot that we have to get this done. At this point, our next speaker will talk on effective public image. as we see him in the gallery, later on, I'll ask him to at least stand a little because he seems to be a walking billboard of what he will be speaking about today. He's from the Rotary Club of Kuching Central of Sarawak, Malaysia. And he was district governor in 2014-2015 of District 3310 with the theme Light Up Rotary. He's IA training leader for 2 years, Rotary year 2020 to 2021, 2021 to 2022. He's currently the Rotary Public Image Coordinator for District 3310 and is the Rotary Leadership Global Institute Facilitator for 2022. Fellow Rotarians, your friend, my friend, everybody's friend, our pick, past district governor, Andre Suharto. And Andre, before you speak, can you please stand up a little and show the beautiful jacket that everyone's talking about? Because you will be speaking about effective public image, and you are truly the walking billboard. Take it away, Andre.
All right, thank you very much, and a very good happy evening, happy afternoon, happy morning to Trustee Chair John Jim, and as well as our RI Director, Surgeon Liu Chitian, and Institute Chair. And Mian, thank you very much so much for the kind introduction. And you have heard it, Trustee Chair said that by 2026, we will declare the world polio free. So our journey is not end yet, and we need your dedication, compassion, prayers, and we need to continue with effective public image if we were to end this disease and wipe it off from the face of the earth. So let me perhaps walk through with you what I think will be the effective public image in order for us to reach that destination on that magical year of 2026. You have all heard it that today we only have 2 countries remaining with polio, that is Pakistan and Afghanistan. And you have heard it. Yesterday, not too long ago, we just had 2 cases of polio outbreak. But we cannot give up, and we must continue to focus our efforts. Nearer to our region, which comprises of 1B, 9, 10A, B, and C, there is only 1 country in this region, in our Rotary region, that is still having polio, and that is Pakistan. But to the rest of the countries and the district in our region, we have already said goodbye to polio, but we must continue to make sure that it will never come back again to us. So what do we do? Well, I can only think that we have 3 things that we need to do. Number 1, we got to continue to raise the awareness and raise funds. These first 2 are especially very important for countries or districts where we have already been declared polio-free by the World Health Organizations. Malaysia, Philippines was just recently declared in 2020 by World Health Organization as polio-free. But in countries like Pakistan, that's when we still need volunteers. Volunteers to help eradication, giving a lot of things to make sure that we actually can realize and achieve our dream. How do we do this? First, I think we all need to make sure that we know our logo and use them with consistency. Although our brand is associated with our logo, but our logo is not the only thing, because the way we say, the way we do things, the way we write will actually mold the perception of members of the public about Rotary and our initiative is in this end polio drive that we are determined to achieve our destination. To help you to do that, there is no other better way than to visit the brand center and getting yourself familiar with the brand center. And this is where we can be sure that we achieve consistent logo every time when we got the chance to use it. And I will let you know later on in a little while why we need to have these logos. As an example, once you get into the brand center under guidelines, you will be able to download the End Polio Now logo visual guidelines. And under materials, you will be able to access the heaps of toolkits in relation to promoting this End Polio campaign. And under World Polio Day, there are a lot of resources that you can actually look at. And these resources are actually pointed at a different website, endpolio.org/resource center, where you have videos, social media materials, educational event materials, banners and posters, and things that you will need to help to give to the media in the community that you are located at. Make use of that. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to get and invite every one of you to please type on the chat box what you think with this logo. These are the EPN and Polio logos. Are they brand compliant? Type in your answer in the Zoom chat. Type either 1 or 2, 1 and 2, or just 2. Tell me your answer. Please type the answer right now on the Zoom chat. Thank you for starting to typing. Great. I got a lot of responses coming in, although I'm not going to wait for everybody to go and type because I have limited time to present the rest of the materials. Fantastic. It's all coming in. Right. This is the part where I would like to make sure that all of you get to be familiar with using the right brand compliant logo of the End Polio now. Okay, let me just perhaps share with you the answer. What it is? Well, both of them are actually brand compliant. Number 1 and number 2. Take note of this. What is the difference? The one on the left, number 1 does not have the Rotary logo. Number 2, you have the Rotary logo. Let's look at the next question. How about this? Now, this is the t-shirt. It's a merchandise that has got the Rotary and your club logo as well as the End Polio logo. But number 2 does not have the club logo. So which logo on this t-shirt that is brand compliant? Oops. Let me just go back. Yeah. Please help me to type in the answer, whether 1 or 2. All right, the answers are coming in. Fantastic. Great. Okay, I'm just going to jump on and give you the answer. The correct one is actually on the left. Now, why is that so? You notice the End Polio logo does not have the Rotary wheel on it. And that is when you need to use the master brand signature, which is equivalent to your club logo or your district logo. Because otherwise, if you were to use it on its own, like the t-shirt on the right-hand side, members of the public will not know that that logo is associated with Rotary. So take note of that, all right? Next, now how about this? This is the lock-up logo. Which one is actually brand compliant? Is it 1 or 2? Take note, the difference is that number 1 does not have the Rotary logo and number 2 actually has the Rotary logo. Yes, the answers are all coming in. I'm going to show you the correct answer. And the correct answer is obviously number 1. Why is that so? Well, you have that End Polio logo without the Rotary wheel on the right. And there is no need to put in a logo with the Rotary wheel anymore because the master brand signature of the club has already got the Rotary wheel. So therefore, there is no need to duplicate to have the wheel on the left and on the right. So take note of that. And here, you have the End Polio logo that is in black and white. Now, tell me which is the one that is brand compliant, 1 or 2? Number 1 is being used with the colored logo of the club master brand signature, and number 2 is with the black and white version of the master brand signature of the club. Thank you for typing in your answers. Let me share with you what is the correct answer. Well, the correct answer is number 2. If you decide to use the End Polio logo in black and white, then please make sure that your master brand signature of your club or your district must also be in black and white. And you notice the wheel, the Rotary wheel does not have the Rotary International wording inside that. And that's perfectly all right because that is called the simplified version of the logo. And it is only used when the wheel is not larger than 1.25 centimeter. These are some examples of the activities that have been taking place around the region. So now that you have got the correct logo, You can use it for all your activities so that members of the community can actually see you consistently across the different countries, different regions, different community, all bearing the same logo. And this is in Philippines. You look at the shoes. I love that red colored shoes. And you have the mark, and the bottom right is where all the 10 district governors of the Philippines, Zone 10A, are so united in having their banners on this close to end polio. And they also have this magnetic strip that they put on the car, as you can see. And this is something that is, I think, very good for us to look at. And in my district, District Governor Dolly Yip has actually put up a challenge. And the challenge is she will climb Mount Kinabalu for polio. And as now, she has already collected $4,100 US. And this mountain is actually the highest mountain in Borneo and the 20th most prominent mountain in the world by topographic prominence. I've tried to climb that mountain. I can tell you it's no easy job. And I did not succeed, but they gave me a certificate that says that congratulations, I attempted to climb the mountain. All right. And this is the recently launch of the hole-in-one golf charity drive organized by my club. What happened is that we run it for 1 month, and it is for designated 2 par-3 holes. And anybody who would like to participate in this hole-in-one will have to pay to the club a certain sum of money every time when they want to participate. And should they win, they can actually get the prizes as shown on the screen in front of you. However, on the 27th of November, it is a special day because that is the day when the club, the golf club, is organizing a very major competition. And we are taking this opportunity to collect about $10 US. And the prize for that is a brand new Toyota Yaris. And that is jointly done by my company as well as an insurance company. And I hope that this can be an attraction to all of them. And you see this close to end polio poster. Now that is the picture of the local minister who actually officiated the launching ceremony of this event. You may not be aware, but it has been very difficult for us to attract Muslim Rotarians from the Muslim communities for some reason. And since the minister is a Muslim, we have got his consent to use this picture of his and use it so that we can promote it and promote to attract potential members from the Muslim community in our region. And don't forget to register your activities for End Polio Now in this particular website, endpolio.org. As you can see from the map, there are so many clubs and districts that organize this event this year compared to last year. So we need all of you to continue to register your activities so that we can create a big impact on the world. And this is the final merchandises that we have made for the event, and as well as the hat. Now with that, I hope that I have imparted some of the information to you on effective public image, and let's hope that we will arrive and realize our dream by the year 2026. Thank you very much. Over to you, man.
Thank you very much, Andre, for the informative presentation. I'd like to say you have beautiful slides, as always. Every time you present, you really have beautiful slides. And true enough, the public image, the good advertisement of your events will generate patronage. We'll have people be part of your hole-in-one and also purchase merchandises. And our next speaker will share the best practices of fundraising in the Philippines during the pandemic time. And to do justice, I'd like to give a little introduction of this good-looking speaker next to another good-looking speaker, Andre. He joined Rotary in 1998, a Rotary Club of Marikina North. and became club president in 1999 and 2000. He's a second generation Rotarian. His father was a charter member of the Rotary Club of Makati West. He's the core convener of the Philippine Vaccination Committee, legal counsel of the Philippine Rotary Magazine Foundation Incorporated, and legal and regulatory affairs chair of the Rotary Presidential Conference. And I'd like to do a little plugging here. I'd like to invite everyone to the Rotary Presidential Conference 2021 this coming November 26, 27, and 28 to be hosted in Manila. He's one of the most outstanding district governor for Rotary year 2020-2021 from District 3800, and they were #1 in giving to polio. He is currently the Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator. Please welcome a good friend, past District Governor Tony P. Parungao. Gov. Tony P., it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Govme. And can everybody see my screen right now? Thank you for the confirmation. I'd like to, of course, greet our past RI President, John Germ, and our current RI Director, Director Surgeon, all the Rotary dignitaries present, all my fellow governors, past, present, and future, as well as my fellow Rotarians all over the zones covered by this polio breakout session. And to everybody, I'd like to say good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. First off, I'd like to say that I am very, very honored to represent my district and of course Zone 10A for this presentation. And in that capacity, because Zone 10A covers all of the 10 districts in the Philippines, I hope to do justice to the remarkable achievements that were done in the last Rotary year. Now, in the Philippines, the moniker that was adopted by most of the immediate past governors last year was transforming governor. And all of us were collectively referred to as the transforming team. And by golly, the moniker is actually very appropriate given what happened last year. It was truly a challenging and most difficult time amid lockdowns and a continuing pandemic. Jobs were lost, businesses were bad, and this was the lingering financial uncertainty. So naturally, we had to manage expectations, if you will, and despite that, last year, to our pleasant surprise, was a record-breaking year for Philippine Rotary. Among others, almost $700,000 was raised for the Polio Plus Fund. This was the highest increase percentage-wise at around 75% ever. And in terms of absolute numbers, this was a jaw-dropping $290,000 increase, the biggest ever for the Philippines. And here in this slide, you will note the breakdown of the results per district. And you will see quite clearly that all districts, without exception, contributed, whether in terms of cash or DDF allocation or both. This was truly a collective effort. And my district, 3800, had a good fortune to lead the way in polio giving. And thank you very much to District 3860 for providing us with the motivation to do so, because they followed us closely. This was a district led by Governor Riz Reyes. And then after that was District 3780. And special mention as well should be given to District 3770 for their substantial contribution to the Polio Plus Fund last year. Of course, good fundraising results start with effective promotion. And last year, this was mostly done online. Now, in order to raise greater awareness and urgency among Rotarians, create momentum, and what RRFC June Farcon describes as the bandwagon effect, and so that the floodgates of generosity will be opened, especially for Rotary's signature campaign. And one way of doing this was through the holding of the first ever virtual Polio Summit, October of last year, featuring top RI officials, including RI President-elect Jennifer Jones. No? Last year, this was attended by more than 630 Zoom participants from over 11 countries and was hosted by District 3780, led by Governor Johnny Yu. This was followed this year, just last month, by the second edition of the Polio Summit for the year 2021. And this was a better version, in my view, because practically all the governors were requested to make their reports on their targets and their accomplishments to date. No? So this is one way of promoting the Polio and Polio Now campaign. Another way was through the beaming of a short special End Polio Now video on this gigantic globe located at the SM Mall of Asia, the biggest mall in Asia in this part of our globe. This was done through the initiative of District 3830, led by Governor Chacha Camacho, with all the other 9 districts pitching in financially. This was up for about a week and was part of Zone 10A's celebration of World Polio Week. And simultaneously, also through the initiative of District 3830, the short special End Polio Now video I mentioned a while ago was likewise shown on the LED billboards located in practically all of the SM malls throughout the country for the same duration as the globe beaming I mentioned a while ago. And not to be outdone, some of the districts in our zone used celebrities, mostly local entertainment figures, as well, brand ambassadors, if you will. This was resorted to by at least 3 of our districts: District 3770, 3820 under Governor Ray Atienza, and 3860 in their various publicity materials, whether digital posters, billboards, and the like. Noteworthy for this particular Rotary year is the new initiative to come up with a digital monthly newsletter on polio, which the governors in turn forward to the respective clubs. In my view, this was the natural progression from the regular email blast sent by our hardworking and Polio Now coordinator, Govme Ann Solomon, last year to us governors, which helped in drumming up excitement, momentum, and coordinated action. And here you will see the collages of the various End Polio Now activities already undertaken or being planned for World Polio Day last year. No? These were produced by all the districts in compliance with the request of our zone coordinator. And here you can see the ones done by District 3770, my district 3800, 3790, as well as District 3820. The next slide will show the collages of activities done by 3 districts, 3810, 3850, and 3860. And finally, this slide features collages of activities of District 3870 and 3780. So as you can see, a variety of out-of-home promotional activities were done. Bike-a-thons, motorcades, fun shoots, Zumba sessions, poster-making contests, motorcades, and the like. And we were really busy districts last year. The flurry of activities created the necessary buzz for more effective fundraising, as you will see as follows. Districts and clubs, aside from the promotional activities, were fully incentivized to do their best through RI's End Polio Now Countdown to History campaign, were clubs contributing at least $1,500 to the Polio Plus Fund would be officially recognized with a banner from RI. And this campaign was aggressively promoted by the zone to the districts last year, which resulted in a grand total of 95 clubs in our zone contributing at least $1,500 to the Polio Plus Fund, led by, once again, District 3860 of Governor Riz Reyes, my classmate, with 35 End Polio Now Countdown to History clubs, followed closely by my district, District 3800, with 28 clubs. You know, Rotarians by nature are competitive, so this is one way of making sure that Rotarians would move towards achieving our goals with respect to the Polio Plus Fund. Now, the Polio Plus Society was launched late last Rotary year, and 3 districts, 3770, 3790, led by Governor Jasama, and 3860, once again, managed to proceed with the chartering of their respective societies before the end of the Rotary year, with a combined total of 123 charter members, amounting to a seed money of an aggregate sum of $12,300. And this Rotary year, most districts are going full blast in the recruitment of charter members for the society. My district, District 3800, has around 135 charter members to date, no? if I'm not mistaken. And I know of one district that already has 450 charter members. Imagine the amount that is already fixed for succeeding Rotary years for the Polio Plus Fund because of this initiative. These are the rest of the RI citations and awards to be given for outstanding achievement in polio giving last Rotary year. And many of us governors are hoping that we can receive these awards, these plaques, these pins from RI soonest. And in addition, here are the suggested district awards, no, given by our zone coordinator. In my case, as district governor last year, I gave framed certificates to clubs which gave $1,500 to the Polio Plus Fund ahead of the banner coming from RI. And I am sure other districts gave similar citations in their respective awarding ceremonies. I also gave plaques to those Rotary clubs that were able to contribute $100 per member to the Rotary Foundation, $50 of which were specifically given for the End Polio Now campaign. I made this a basic requirement for those clubs that wanted to be recognized as most outstanding Rotary clubs. And I'd like to think that this was partially responsible for our performance in this regard in the last Rotary year. Now, one fundraising activity I am actually very proud of was our district virtual run against polio. Participants here would pay a fee. The highest was just $20 to run or walk distances ranging from 1 kilometer to 3 to 5, all the way to 21 kilometers. In exchange for running and finisher shirts, face masks, and other collaterals, apart from the fulfillment of contributing to the Polio Plus Fund. This was launched on World Polio Day last year and went on for a month. 1,118 Rotarians and friends took part, and we managed to raise a total of almost 1 million Philippine pesos. The net proceeds of which, amounting to close to $7,000, were turned over to the Polio Plus Fund in the name of the Rotary clubs of the runners concerned. What's more, this activity guaranteed that practically all the Rotary clubs would participate in the End Polio Now campaign. thereby making it easier for our district to have 100% participation in this campaign. Talk about a grassroots fueled performance for the Rotary Foundation. Now, this Rotary year, our governor, District Governor August Soliman, launched an even bigger and more cost-efficient version of this virtual run activity, drawing 100 more participants, or a total of 1,200 plus, with an estimated net proceeds as of the moment, subject to accounting, of almost twice the amount last year at $13,000 US. So I'm really very, very happy that this is being continued by our district. And I understand one district, District 3770, will also undertake or actually undertook a similar virtual run activity this Rotary year. And as I say, the more, the merrier. Hopefully, this can become a nationwide activity in Philippine Rotary. Another effective fundraising strategy for us was the sale of Rotary EPN merchandise by all the districts, no exceptions. Name it, we sold it. End Polio Now shirts, caps, face masks, mugs, umbrellas, pillows, bags, car sunshades, dolls, sneakers, alcohol and hand sanitizers, even watches. And in my district, the bestseller were the End Polio Now face masks, because we took advantage of the concern of almost everybody about the raging pandemic to offer End Polio Now face masks to them for just 150 pesos, 250 pesos, sorry. My district even offered, as you can see in this slide, kiddie versions. This was spearheaded by one of our clubs in the district, the Rotary Club of Metro Pasig, with $1 per piece going to polio. So I think a total of almost $800 was raised through this merchandising effort. Of course, all of these fundraising strategies were accompanied by the tried and tested identification and persuasion of big ticket donors. And no one, of course, was bigger, both literally and figuratively, than my classmate, immediate past Assistant Governor Johnny Yu of District 3780, who donated a jaw-dropping $100,000 for the Polio Plus Fund. God bless you, Governor Johnny. Other big ticket donors included these three gentlemen from my district. Everyone recognizes, of course, the gentleman at the top, no? Past RI Director Rafi Garcia, our ever generous retired, who contributed $30,000 to the Polio Plus Fund. The other gentlemen here, our DRFC Governor Mac Hermoso and our annual fund chair last year, Charter President Manny Reyes, each contributed $10,000 for the Polio Plus Fund. Also giving $10,000 were Governor nominee Twinkle Gamboa of District 3860 and President-elect Archie Gamboa, both from the Rotary Club of downtown Davao. Incidentally, both of these Rotarians, our husband and wife giving in tandem couple, are ARC Clump Society members. District 3770 under Governor Dindo Berino had a golf tournament to raise funds for, among others, Polio Plus. And the aggressive and relentless drive to allocate 20% of the district designated fund for the polio campaign resulted in 9 out of the 10 districts in the Philippines setting aside portions of their DDF for this purpose. The early birds here were District 3860 and 3770, led by my classmates Governors Ruiz Reyes and Dindo Berino, respectively, both of whom agreed to allocate 20% of their DDF as early as the International Assembly in San Diego in January of last year. Now, this is I give mad props to Governor Mayan Solomon here. Special Rotary Milestones were used as a rallying cry for more donations. Last year, District 3830, led by Governor Chacha Camacho, was able to raise $7,000 to commemorate Rotary's 116th anniversary. And for its part, District 3860 of Governor Riz Reyes raised an additional $3,000 at $10 per Rotarian during the birthday of past RI President Holger Knack. Now this year, aside from Rotary's anniversary, it was recommended by the zone coordinator to use the birthdays of President Shekhar Mehta, as well as of Trustee Chair John Germ, who is here with us right now for this particular purpose. Now, in late May of the last Rotary year, my district offered limited editions of these beauties, these handcrafted, customized, brand-compliant Converse sneakers, both the high-cut and the low-cut versions, with the net proceeds going to polio. And I myself and my wife got pairs, and we were able to sell, despite the short notice, something like almost 18 pairs, and raised close to $400 for polio. And if we had started earlier, I surmise we could have sold more and raised more. And at the start of the last Rotary year, my district's theme song, an original composition entitled Together We Are One, was officially launched on all the major music streaming sites like Spotify and Apple. The proceeds from the downloads of which were specifically for the benefit of the Polio Plus Fund. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Rotarians, I am very, very proud of what my fellow governors, our zone coordinator, our district polio coordinators, all of the Rotarians in the Philippines, what the transforming team was able to accomplish, not just in polio giving, but also in total giving to the Rotary Foundation. The level of commitment and creativity was just amazing. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Together, we exceeded targets, surpassed expectations, and broke records. But you know what? It looks like this life-changing Rotary year 2021 to 2022, will be even better. If current numbers are any gauge, the best is indeed yet to come. At the end of October last year, our zone, all the 10 Philippine Rotary districts, had raised a total of $188,000 already. Not bad, all things considered. But as of the end of October this year, $288,000 had already been raised, an increase of a whopping 50% from that of last year. So on that note, it seems to me that the job will be done sooner rather than later. Let us all continue to do good in the world. Remember, one Rotary, one focus, to end polio. Thank you very much, and good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to everybody.
Thank you very much, Gov. Tony P. You are correct. The best is yet to come. You have defied everything for Rotary year 2020-2021. That was the year of the entire pandemic. You were called the PDGs, the Pandemic District Governors. You were still in position, but you were already PDGs, but you defied all odds. And I speak at present for the life-changing governors in Zone 10A. They are really doing their best. And the secret fundraiser, the surprise fundraiser, was the Polio Summit Pledge and the Polio Plus Society, which you have shared and which we are sharing to everyone. Thank you very much. And I hope everyone has learned from effective public image strategies and being mindful about the branding and the best practices in the Philippines. Of course, you were all inspired with the opening message from our director surgeon and the opening remarks about the Rotary Foundation and polio by no less than our trusty chair, John Germ. We are now going to open the floor for question and answer. Because of limited time, some questions were, I think, placed in the chat room. Please raise your hand as I will recognize you. I will put my gallery in. Okay, I see District Governor-elect Lilo Alino from District 3860. Governor Lilo, you are now acknowledged.
Good evening and good morning to Trustee Chair John Germ. The question is actually for him. Trustee Chair John Germ, in this session, you have informed us, as well as, of course, Convener Surgeon earlier, on 2 new cases in Afghanistan. Considering the crisis and uncertainty in that country, I'm very sure it has affected the end polio timeline. I heard you say 2023. Actually, we heard for several times already on 2023, but now we are hearing 2020 to 2026, as discussed earlier also. So what are the strategies if it has affected all these crises, even the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic has affected our timeline? What are the specific strategies and action plans that you are planning actually to be able to declare 2026 as polio free?
Thank you for that question. I think that the best strategy we have for Afghanistan and Pakistan is the door-to-door campaigns. That's the only way we're going to be able to reach all the children. Our surveillance system is working. That's how we found these other 2 cases. As I said, that one of them was a 25-month-old, and another was a 10-month-old. So we have to keep that up. We have the GPEI has established a office in the region to put more emphasis on it, just like we did for India. The last case, if these are the last cases, that's 2022, 2021. So that would still meet our timeline of 2023 for the last case. We're not talking about Rotary years. We're talking about the calendar year for 2023. So we're positive we can get there. We're trying hard to do that. And we think this door-to-door and also the border crossing campaigns that are being going on right now will help us get there.
Thank you. Trustee Chair John.
Thank you, John. I see the hands raised of District Polio Coordinator, Dr. Irene Santos of District 3780. Dr. Irene, you are now recognized. Unmute yourself, please. Okay.
Yes, I would just like to congratulate everybody for being in this polio movement, and we hope that we could end this in our lifetime. Everybody's doing a great job, and I'm very proud to be part of this movement. Thank you very much, DPC Mian.
Thank you very much, Doc Irene. This is not a question addressed to anyone for that matter. Oh no, addressed to 2 persons. One is, it seems like our speaker for effective public image was so effective that they are now asking where to order the jackets. So I replied that it's in the chat group. So I think the post of Andre has been already missed out. Andre, please put in the chat group where to purchase your jacket, and please give 10% to polio for for the conveners, for the host club. All
I
right.
will.
Eh,
Thank you.
okay, there's also another question. This is addressed to Gov. Tony P. Where can we buy the Converse red shoes?
I will
Are they
revert.
still available?
I'm sure they are because we had them customized, no? So you just have to order and we can have them done by our supplier. In fact, the Rotarian who was in charge of that activity is here, no? He's the immediate past president, Brill Chua of the Rotary Club North Bay East. So
I see.
I'm sure we can accommodate, and I think it's a good activity. I know of a supplier in Taiwan who was doing this, but this one was our own initiative using our own customized people, no? So that in fact, Govman, you cleared the branding there.
Okay. The interested Rotarian is from Malaysia, so
I
we have
see.
to deal with the shipment and all.
Yeah, I
Do
actually
we-
get to wear the sneakers from time to time. I get to people approach me about it.
All right. Thank you, Gov. Tony P. Any other questions that you'd like to ask our speakers? Seems like everybody understood the message loud and clear. One Rotary, one focus, and that's to end polio now. So we're all in this together. Rotary's top priority is to end polio. I'm going over the gallery and I don't see any hands raised at this moment. So is there anything that, okay, Gov. Lisa of District 3810, the immediate past, no, champion, the district governor. Gov. Lisa, you're now
Thank you very
acknowledged.
much. Thank you very much, EPNC Govman. And first, I'd like to say congratulations to all our wonderful speakers for tonight. Most of them mentioned about the recent two cases that we have in Afghanistan involving a 25-month-old boy and a 10-month-old girl. And I understand most of us also were surprised and were saddened by this development. Okay, in spite of the fact that we have been doing all we can to eradicate polio or to end polio, still we are surprised to have this transmission. My question is, what do you think went wrong with this two?
I mean, I think her question is what went wrong. Is that correct? Everybody's frozen.
My question, would you want me to repeat my question?
Yes, please, Lisa, you got cut
okay.
off.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm talking about the two new cases that we recently had in Afghanistan this October. And my question is, what do you think went wrong with these two new cases, particularly in Afghanistan? Like, were we complacent in our efforts in that place, or did we lack funding?
No, what went wrong was the fact that we were not able to get to those before the Taliban took over the entire country. There were certain areas that we could not, vaccinations could not take place. They stopped vaccinations door to door. Then COVID hit. Then the Taliban took over and opened back up. So it was just a failure to reach those children. That's why it's so important that we go door to door to reach all the children. So that's what went wrong. We were not able to do it. Now, what went right is the surveillance system that found these cases so that we could go in there and do what is called a mop-up campaign by revaccinating everybody within that area.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, President John Germ.
Sure.
John, if it is correct, for the same period of last year we had 140 cases versus this year, amazingly, for the entire, 9 months, we only had 4 cases up to today. I think that is something significant as well.
for the 9 months, we only had 2 cases, one in Afghanistan and one in Pakistan. So it is good. But we anticipated, quite honestly, that there could be more cases because, you know, we haven't been able to go door to door since last year. And then in certain geographic areas of Afghanistan, for example, where these 2 cases were found, we were not able to go there at all. So it is quite a remarkable accomplishment where we're at now. Part of that has been because people have been isolated in their homes. So if you had polio, you weren't able to spread it. Now, these are not family members. And I said one of them was a 25-month-old boy and a 10-month-old girl. I don't know for sure which is which. I just know that there's 25-month-old and 10-month-old child.
Okay.
I may have said that boy and girl, but it was a boy and it was a girl. I'm not sure which the age is of each one of them.
Okay, thanks, John. Any follow-up question to that? I see Andre raising his hand. Andre, you are recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayan. I just want to check or rather verify this information because prior to the Taliban taking over the government in Afghanistan, the media portrayed the situation as if the Taliban did not actually support our end polio initiatives in Afghanistan. And now that they have taken over the government, we have their strong mandate and they're supporting us. So what actually was the situation prior to them taking over the government?
Prior to them taking over the government, there was the infighting between the Taliban and the federal government areas. So there was prohibition about going in certain areas. Now, the Taliban has never been against vaccinations. They've been against the rumors that the polio campaign used one of its workers to help identify Osama bin Laden's location. But they've got children too. So I think that that's one of the reasons that they understand that they have to get these children vaccinated. And if they don't, they're going to be crippled and be more of a burden to the government. So I think that's probably what the problem was.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. And I think that ends our question and answer portion, given the time. So we now proceed to the review and reflection. And to do that is another classmate of mine from the All-Star Team year, Rotary year 2016-2017, a very beautiful friend in and out. She is the district trainer and currently one of the Rotary Presidential Conference Promotional Chair. Again, fellow Rotarians, please welcome with a virtual round of applause, past District Governor Miriam Ruth Jean de la Calzada of District 3870. Jean?
Thank you, classmate Mayan. Good day to all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. For this session's review and reflection, I'm sure you will agree with me that it has been a fruitful event with lots of learning and take-home messages that will help us finish what we have started in our fight against polio. Our charming, amiable, and energetic moderator, EPNC Perijimi and Solomon, my classmates, welcomed us into the session, introduced the speakers, and led us seamlessly throughout the program without a dull moment. Institute convener RAD Surgeon Liu Chi Chen gave us a very warm welcome and opening remarks. He gave us a brief outline of Rotary and polio now effort with 2 cases early this year and another 2 new cases within a 10-month interval. He emphasized that importance of raising awareness and fundraising to mobilize Rotary networks and to stop transmission and prevent outbreaks in polio-free regions. He encouraged us to take opportunity to do more as we serve to change lives. Trustee Chair John Germ, my all-star past RI president, talked about the Rotary Foundation and polio. He recalled that polio eradication efforts started in the Philippines in 1979 with a 760,000 TRF grant to vaccinate 6 million children. Since then, cases worldwide dropped from 1,000 cases per day to 4 cases all over the world. Since the time that Rotary said, yes, we can accomplish this, Rotary is working towards extending the contract with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation from 2023, when polio will be eradicated from endemic areas, to 2026, when polio will finally be eradicated from the world. He inspired us to continue the effort, as TRF is also fully committed to continue the effort. Past RI Vice President Michael McGovern gave us some recent polio updates and challenges as we face this time. He said that there are still a few cases of polio virus type 1 continuing to circulate in Pakistan and Afghanistan. And some vaccine-derived polio cases, 80% of which are found in Nigeria. The declining numbers lead us to be optimistic, but we also have to be realistic. We cannot be complacent as we continue surveillance. Our goal is to finally see the last case of polio by the end of 2023. And the great challenge is to vaccinate 400 million children per year until polio is totally eradicated. We can only get this done through patience, persistence, and passion. Outside of the 3 countries mentioned, polio has been eradicated in other parts of the world, thanks to Rotary. So what should Rotarians in the polio-free countries do, particularly in our region? Our PDJ Andre Suharto discussed about raising awareness and raising funds as a role in reaching our goal as an organization. Rotary clubs worldwide have undertaken End Polio Now initiatives and activities and lots of innovative ways to raise awareness towards ending polio. The Rotary Brand Center is where we can get resources and tools for our End Polio Now events. As we promote our advocacy and initiatives, we need to have one identity, one brand, and one uniform logo to identify us and our cause, the End Polio Now logo. He encouraged us to know your logo and use it with consistency. On raising funds, IPDG Tony P. Parungao talked about the best fundraising practices during the pandemic in the Philippines in Zone 10A. He said, good fundraising starts with a good campaign. He mentioned that the Philippines polio giving has been steadily increasing since 2018, in spite of the pandemic. He mentioned several unique, novel, effective, and innovative ideas to promote awareness nationwide, at the same time to raise funds for polio, like the Zone 10A Polio Summit, online and out-of-home promotion activities, incentives and recognition, creation of a Polio Plus Society, and a number of other fundraising strategies that have been intensified through the years. Not even a pandemic can stop us from keeping our promise to the children of the world. His parting words, the best is yet to come, was timely said, because we are this close to ending polio. For me, the best to come would be a polio-free world. One Rotary, one focus to end polio. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much, Governor Jing. Truly, the best is yet to come. And we're so close to ending polio, but we're not yet there. So we have to intensify to raise awareness and raise funds for polio. And we are doing this for the children because we want to fulfill the promise to the children to make the world polio free. They are the future of the world. And I'd like to dedicate this video to all the children of the world. Credit goes to District Polio Coordinator June Kwan of District 3850. Play video, please. Okay, we're to play the video, and we would like to give credit to District Polio Coordinator June Kwan of District 3850. Truly, it's a dedication to the children of the world, the future of the world. So can we play the video now, tech team? I don't think there's audio now. No audio can be heard.
Yeah, there's no audio.
Yes, Gov Joanne. Can we still wait a while? Because the next part is the best part, because all good things need to come to an end. So we reserve the best for last.
I am the future of the world. I am the hope of my nation. I am tomorrow's people. I am the new inspiration. And we've got a song to sing to you. We've got a message to bring to you. Please let there be for you and for me a tomorrow. Tomorrow. If we all can agree, there'll be sweet harmony. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we all will be there. Coca-Cola to share. Feeling so real and so true. So real and so true. Promise us tomorrow. And we'll build a better world for you.
And we all say that we end polio now, because together we will end it and we will make history. At this point, to deliver the closing remarks, I'd like to call the hardworking 2021 Singapore Rotary Institute Chair, past District Governor Chu Gim Bok, the Rotary Coordinator for Zones 10B and 10C. Gov Gim Bok, it's all yours.
Thank you, moderators. May and Trustee Chair John Jones, 2021 Institute Convener, Rotary International Director Surgeon Liu Jitian, RRFS Team Leader, RFC ENT Chen Su Xiu, Assistant RRFS Team Leader, RFC Jason Lim. Of course, Moderator and Polio Now Coordinator May Ann, distinguished guests, distinguished speakers, my fellow Rotarians, good evening. So although membership is Rotary International #1 internal priority, eradicating polio remains Rotary's highest external program priority. I would like to congratulate RRFS team leader, ENT Chen Shu and his team for planning and selecting tonight's topic on polio. The topic is so apt that and so close to many Rotarians' hearts that Trustee Chair John James gave up his sleep to speak to us so early. Fighting polio for the last 35 years has not been in vain. We have reduced polio cases by 99.9%, and we are now left with only 2 countries with only a couple of cases this year. So with a vast experience gained fighting polio, Rotarians were able to use the experience and skill to combat and control the current COVID-19 pandemic. Vaccination centers were converted to COVID-19 use, and our knowledge of vaccine transportation has been useful too. So mark my word, should we ever succeed in eradicating polio in the near future, which I'm confident we will, there will be a big public image or PR opportunity for us to get noticed and to expand our reach. Yes, 2026 is our target, but meanwhile, let's stay focused, keep our promise to the children in the world. So I trust you will go away more inspired tonight to support the Rotary Foundation's missions and programs. Thank you, stay safe, and see you on the 23rd November next week. Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Gov Jimbok. Please stay for our official photo op. But before that, I'd like to call another classmate, an all-star team district governor. He will formally adjourn today, Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Zones 10B and 10C, Jason Lim. Classmate Jason.
It's a prank. Thank you. Thank you, classmate Mian. Tag team, can you please also spotlight RFC ENT?
ENT, can you raise your hand? Let me find you. ENT， 他不在。好的。
洪秀。
Okay. Now just now I was being locked by the tag team. Current, past, and incoming RI dignitaries. My fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is another great show of the all-star team moderator. I call her super moderator. Whenever there's polio seminar, May Ann is always on my mind. All right. With the great leadership of our training leaders, PDG ENT, we have come out with a good program, and we are very lucky, despite of the busy schedule, heavy schedules of trustee chairs John James, and also although past vice president Mike. He says that he's unable to speak. We say no. Please do a pre-recorded because polio is very important. As what Mayan has said, we are one word, one Rotary, and one focus to end polio. It is with our passion, our delegation, our determination, and with our prayers. No child will be safe unless all child will be safe. I'm very confident as what my all-star team president, John Jones, has said, we will end polio in year 2026. The futures to end polio is in our hands now. My fellow Rotarians, although our countries may not have polio cases, We have to ensure polio from coming back. Keep contributing, irregardless of the amount, to Polio Plus Fund. Stay safe, be healthy, and together we will end polio. Thank you very much, classmate.
Thank you very much, classmates. So that formally ends the program. We just extended it a few minutes, about 5 minutes, but that's okay. Another 2 minutes for our photo op. Can we do that? Please open all your video. Remember, those whose video are off are at the last page of the screen. So tech support, please on cue. Tell us when to smile.
Yeah, are you all ready? So in total, there is about 5 pages. So keep smiling. Yeah, keep smiling. And I have to take for 5 times. So my screen can hold 49. So keep smiling. I do not know where you are at what page. So keep smiling. Okay, first page done. Now I'm going for second page. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Okay, now it's second page. Keep smiling. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm going for third page. Keep smiling. Okay. Third page. Keep smiling. Don't stop. I know because we have 200 over. So well done, everyone. Good job. Okay, keep smiling, keep smiling. Okay, so I'm going into my 4th page already. So keep smiling. All right. Yeah, keep smiling.
Cream on my cheeks.
Okay.
Almost dropped.
So this page got nobody open the screen. So I'm going into my final last one. Those do not on your video. Those are the one who actually. So those who actually you on your video, you are not on the last page because you can actually relax your cheeks already. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the tech support led by District Governor-elect Joanne. Joanne, thank you so much. Also to past President Clarence Yong, past President Chia Cheng Wee, President Angela Chin, past President Fred Tai, President-elect William Wong, and Rotarian William Shim. This was made possible because of our tech support. All Rotarians, a snappy salute to all of you and good night to everyone. Thank you and have a good day ahead. Tomorrow, a good week and all.
Thank you, our moderator.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Moderator.
Congrats, go Tony P. Andre. Jason.
Hey, thank you, Jason. Jason, do you hear me? Jason,
that's Tony P.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. My